chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Hurricanes. As we'll see, the number 15 team in the country, the Clemson Tigers, taking on one of the participants from last year's playoff, the Miami Hurricanes. 3A Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. And the Canes will put total leather and we'll get started. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Looking downfield, it's Poe. Finds his tight end. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3. When you reach this point in the season, these types of games, top 25 matchups, really determine whether you're going to be a contender.
Yeah, and really show what you're going to be the rest of the season. How are you going to finish strong throughout the season? At the first part of the season, now getting to the middle of the season, Palmer, getting a chance to show what you're about so you can finish strong.
It's a resume builder, no doubt about it. And really, there's been so much anticipation building up to this top 25 matchup. So which team can control their emotions, I think, goes a long way in who wins this one.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Leaves it with the running back. And runs through another one. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. They'll try to get the edge with the toss play here. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
Well, we know this running back's a playmaker, and he's a guy they want to get going early and often in this game.
Also, you can wear out those big defensive linemen by making them chase.
Yeah, I like the idea of going outside. You want to mix and match it between the tackles to the outside. Get these big fellas running these routes.
And his molars are probably rattling after that big hit, but he did get the first down. 3rd and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, 3rd and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you...
Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. They get him on the ground after the turnover, but there is a flag on the field, and we'll see if that will be a reprieve for this offense. Dropping back, it's Parker. They're working that left side. Open space at the 25. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
And that's a good lesson for quarterbacks out there. When you're throwing to your running backs, if you get it to them early and they've got some space around them, they can do damage. And that's exactly what happened there. These guys are trained to be great once they have the ball in their hands. He makes people miss. He shows you the speed, and it's a big chunk.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Miami!
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed, and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. They wasted no time on that drive. 2 plays, touchdown just like that. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Well, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just... And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. He is a menace rushing the passer, career sack number 20.
I mean, some people just have a knack for getting to the quarterback. What a great job throughout his career. Getting there, getting him down, getting pressures. He has been a quarterback's worst nightmare.
Reels it in down the left side. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. Clemson has just been prolific at the receiver position. More scheme or more talent? I'd argue it's both, David.
Yeah, I argue more talent over the years, just dudes on the outside that win. And you know what? I think Clemson, as much as anybody in the country, has always featured those guys. And you want to play one-on-one with those guys, or you want to give them a cushion like they'll throw it right now. And they've always believed in those guys out wide. And you know what? They usually come through for them.
So now it's second and long. To the air, it's Poe. Shoots it to the left. It's caught downfield. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Nice catch by the big target. Those big tight ends, you can tell in football, are just becoming more and more of a weapon on every single team.
And here comes the offense on second down. Unloads to the wideout. Complete on the comeback. Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business with a first and goal.
I'll tell you, if you're going to throw it to the perimeter of the field against zone coverage, you got to have really good anticipation at quarterback, and you saw it there. He threw that before his guy had even turned around. Accurate throw, they're able to play and get the first down.
So he took a chance by using a timeout on the challenge, and it comes back to bite him. We'll see if he needs that timeout later. Clemson will come to the line with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Tigers. Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
And they did tack on that extra point without any adventure. They put together an 81-yard drive, and they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Off the play fake on first down to throw. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
This defensive coaching staff, they love their secondary, and they love the matchups they have. They believe they've got 5 guys at least back there that can cover one-on-one. You saw a great example of it there on third down, forcing the incompletion.
Quickly to the flat, the wide receiver screen. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
For a wide receiver screen to work, you've got to have better blocking out in front by other receivers, and they're just not physical enough at the point on that last play.
Now facing a third and long. To throw, it's Parker. A safe call on the wide receiver screen. That's not quite going to be enough as they stop him 4 yards short of the marker.
It's hard to have success on wide receiver screens when you're facing press man coverage because your blockers out front oftentimes can't pick them up, and that receiver gets gobbled up as soon as he catches the pass. You saw it on that last play.
That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Good field position to start this drive at their own 47. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Firing to the right, complete. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Again, this is a running back that can hurt you running it between the tackles, and he's dangerous out in space. They like to throw it to him out on the perimeter as he picks up a couple of yards there.
Got a man, it's Traore. And he'll be out of bounds on what turns out to be the final play of the first quarter. We've got a good one going here and looking forward to keep those vibes rolling here in the second. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. Wants to go up top on first down. Back open in the middle. And a 9-yard gain on first down leaves him with second and short. Let's take a second and talk about Clemson. By the end of the day, one of these two teams will control their conference destiny the rest of the way. Potential bye in the college football playoff on the line. This game critical at this point in the season for both teams.
And so much talent in this game, too. Outstanding coaching staffs, NFL talent on both teams going into this one. David, this might be a rematch in the conference championship game. We might get to see this matchup again.
Yeah, and it's so nice to have two teams playing so well at the top of their conference. You know this game matters. There's no sleepwalking into this game. You see the numbers at the top of the conference. It's you and it's them. Who's going to come out today?
Quickly out to the tight end. He's run out of bounds, and they'll say he stepped out at the 27.
Well, that play was designed for that down and distance, right? You saw how he barely got enough to pick up the first. Really nice job by the play caller there, understanding the situation of what play to dial up.
And they're not on the same page there.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
He'll take a shot. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
That's an example of the offensive coordinator trying to be aggressive and trying to take a shot. Now, the offense isn't able to click on that play, but moving ahead in the second half, it's important they continue to dial up these big plays. You want to stay aggressive, and you want to keep testing this.
A shot toward the end zone. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's fourth down.
Well, we know this offense hasn't been able to get it going on the ground so far in this game. Now they're trying through the air, but give this defense credit. They've got a really good game plan. They've got all 11 guys on that side of the ball executing perfectly. Fantastic job in the back end that time, being in position and making sure that thing fell incomplete.
On fourth down, going to the air. Pressure coming. Takes a shot as he throws, and it never had a chance. Incomplete.
And the offense stays aggressive. They try to throw the football and just weren't on the same page. It was an incompletion. He could have done a better job, I think, throwing the ball to his receiver and maybe making it where it's more of a 50-50 ball where he can make a play. Defense gets the big stop.
Looking for a man. It's Parker. He's got him. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Fires to the tight end. At the 45 on his way. And they finally get him down, but not before. He's got him set up for business at the 49-yard line. And the Canes, after exploding for that huge run, back to work.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let it.
Oh, he's got some space. Nice pickup on the ground there. They'll move the sticks with the first down. The Hurricanes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. He's got it on the run. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They'll keep it on the ground. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. Dropping back, it's Parker. Unleashes to the end zone. And that one was way too far for anybody to catch, except ticket holders.
And you're not going to see many of those. That's a gift for this defense. You don't see this guy miss very often, especially to put 6 on the board. That was a big missed opportunity for this quarterback and this offense.
The Canes looking to convert on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Drop the football, and they'll turn it over on downs. We'll see what this offense can do sitting inside its own 20. First play of the drive, lost a throw. He's got his man. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. They're dealing with a second and long. Back to pass. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. And he is taking it all the way back. Touchdown, Canes.
I'll tell you, you'll love linebackers that are good against the run, but how nice is it when you've got a guy that can sit in zone coverage like he can and not just pick it off, but find his convoy and take it to the house. That is a game-changing play.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. San Diego State is being humbled today. There's just no other way to say it. A complete and thorough thumping. They're trailing by 17 to Louisiana. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. To the air, it's Parker. Starting to feel a little pressure. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance.
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
And that was a big objective for this defense coming into the game. Talking to coaches, We want to keep him in the pocket. We don't want him to use his wheels. He's fast. He's elusive, can make big plays. Nice job by the defense keeping him in the pocket and getting the sack.
On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Going for the big play. Working that left side. The tackle is made, but he's got it 1st and goal from the 6. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, 3rd down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win. And gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the 1st down.
The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call. They've got it down to the 3. Now it's 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run. The offense calls timeout, and they won't have any more left this half. A 3rd and goal call here from the 2. Let's see if they can finish the deal. Wide receiver comes in motion. Got his man quickly. And that was a high percentage completion and a low efficiency pass. They lose yardage. So they've got the lead. They can make it a 2-score game with a chip shot field goal, but instead the offense is out there on 4th down. Dropping back, it's Parker. Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Hurricane! Fit it in the window for the score.
This offense looks like they're in a rhythm. Whatever they've been dialing up here in the 1st half, they've had a lot of success with. You saw it on that last drive here at the end of the 2nd quarter. Scoring a touchdown, they're going to be difficult to stop in the 2nd half, and the defense needs to start making adjustments.
And the extra point puts them on top 21-7. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Clemson will kick this deep to get the 2nd half underway. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They got plenty done through the air in the 1st half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the 3rd quarter.
Well, and I think defensively, you understand, like the running game isn't a big part of the plan. I wonder how they adjust and play more coverage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to...
Turning it on! He's at the 20. Into the end zone unimpeded, except for that piece of laundry on the field. This might be coming back. Maybe a momentary scare for that offense when they saw the flag. It's on, the defense declined, and the touchdown stands. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. That drive, a great example of just how potent this offense can be. 2 plays, 80 yards, give them the touchdown. From inside the 15, chance for a good return. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Gets it out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 3.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the 1st half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
And the Tigers are at the line trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. Looking to pass. It's Poe. And they can't make the connection on third down.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly. And that's what they're doing right now. Their coverage is being dictated by the scoreboard. They're going to make it really, really hard on this quarterback here in the second half to throw any completions.
And the returner is stopped. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They had this thing in a hammerlock at halftime, and now they are really ratcheting up the pressure, David.
And I tell you what, this offense doesn't have to change a thing, Palmer. They've done what they wanted in the first half and starting off the second half in the same fashion.
And I like how they're letting different guys get involved, too. They've got so many different playmakers all over the field.
And it's not a surprise who they're throwing the ball down the field to. I mean, he's already had a great day. They're going to feature him because he makes plays over and over again. And then trying to take another shot to him down the field. If I'm the defense, man, I'm focusing on that guy. He's made too many.
There he goes. Creates a little space. Touchdown, Miami! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9. This is like a baseball pitcher they can't miss. He is just pounding the strike zone.
It just gets in the zone, right? When you can't miss, you've seen quarterbacks get like that no matter what they do. They're on fire. They're hitting the receivers. And listen, that's also on the defense. The defense has to do a better job making him feel uncomfortable, changing what they're doing in coverage so he's a little bit confused. You can't just let him pick you apart.
Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Last time they had it, didn't pick up a first down. Let's see if they can put something together here. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
And that pressure got to him quick. I mean, you talk about you want your quarterback to feel comfortable. Man, he didn't have time to feel comfortable. He didn't have time to get his feet set and get in the ground. This offensive line's got to do a better job.
Gonna take a shot at this DB. He's got it along the sideline. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Scanning the field, it's Pope. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
Man, it didn't take long for the defense to get home on that play. You see them playing man coverage in the back end, slowing down the routes from the receivers and the rest of the offense. That forced the quarterback to have to hold on to it for just a split second longer, and they were able to get the sack.
Now facing second and long after the defense came up with that sack. Finds a man on the left, and he'll be brought down.
There's a great saying in football. It's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. Well, my Jimmy's better than your Joe.
The Tigers come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Takes it from the gun on third down. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
On fourth down, looking to pass. Intercepted, and that total goes to 16. Takes it the other way. Touchdown, Canes! The defense putting points on the board.
Man, that could not have gone any worse. You're thinking fourth down, go for it. Well, even if you don't get it, you turn the ball back to their offense. Not that. You throw a pick, and they turn it back all the way for a touchdown and get points. disaster for this offense.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. San Diego State is down right now, but this young man under center today has shown some moxie. We could see a legend born in Snapdragon Stadium today. They're trailing by 10 to Louisiana. Any big developments in this one, we've got you covered with the best studio team in the business, gentlemen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. That last pick six after a drive like that, David, can swing the momentum of a game.
The defense is still celebrating. I mean, such a big play. I mean, they gave up some yards but did what they're supposed to do. Now, Jesse, this offense has to put a drive together.
Yeah, they have to recapture some momentum here. What they can't do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back.
The Tigers in a good spot here with second and short. To the air, it's Poe. And that is his 5th interception. If he comes out to try for 6, he'll be lucky. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute them.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Now on second down. Looking to fire. He's got the back in the middle. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
From the 22 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw, incomplete.
That's a ball that this offense should be able to complete. They had the coverage they wanted. Receiver ran on the route. Just an inaccurate throw by the quarterback.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Wants to throw. It's Parker. Lets it fly. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
And when you're a quarterback, man, I know wide receivers are great athletes and they're supposed to catch everything that gets near them, but when you don't put it right on the center, when they're running a lot of times, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. And I think he did that a little bit too much for his wide receiver right there.
Quick screen to the speedster out wide. He gets it oh so close to the 1st down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
Offense facing 4th down.
They've already gone for it a couple of times on 4th down, converted once. Looks as if they'll try a third. Needs it to keep this drive alive. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening 1st and goal from the 9. And the Hurricanes come to the line in the hurry up. They'll go to the air. Looking for the goal line. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. making side adjustments here. Off the play fake. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Yeah, and this defense hadn't had a lot of success. This offense has been doing what it wants at will. Finally getting to the QB, finally getting some pressure, finally getting a big hit on him. That'll pay some dividends down the road.
They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of a field goal, but it's 3rd and goal. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now has taken out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place. And that time, they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
4th and goal from the 3, and the offense will stay out there and try to finish the deal. Into the end zone. And the 4th down pass falls incomplete, and they'll have to give up the football.
That is great job by this defense, coming up big on 4th down when it matters the most. You could tell they were dialed in. They knew they were going to throw the football. The defense was locked in on the quarterback. Great job defending the pass, forcing the incompletion on 4th down.
Gets a nice surge and crosses the 5 to the 6-yard line, a pickup of 3.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You've got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
And those little runs, man, they don't look great in the box score, but I love when an offense stays on schedule and it makes those 3rd downs more manageable, easier, harder to attack me now from the defensive perspective trying to get to me. So it's an easy, simple play for this offense, but I love it.
Looks as if Clemson will have the 1st down. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Miami is on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. I guess if you're an optimist, the stage is set for a massive 4th quarter comeback. They'll go back to work with a 1st down in the final period. They'll go to the toss. Solid gain to get them out close to the 20. Pick up a 5 to the 19.
I think the toss does a really good job of getting the football on the edge quickly. You know, you toss it out there to the running back, you better block the defensive end. That's priority number 1. Good job blocking the defensive end, getting a nice positive game in the toss mark.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated this entire game.
They're facing a 3rd down. To the air, it's Poe. Bringing the heat. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming.
Well, this has been a day to forget if you're this quarterback. And I got to be honest, guys, I'm surprised he's still even in the game right now because he's had 0 rhythm. He hasn't been accurate. He's thrown a ton of interceptions. Most coaches would have pulled their guy by now. I know the guy I played for back in college, he would have pulled me about 2 interceptions a game.
They're throwing for it on 4th down. The incomplete pass makes this series end in frustration as they turn it over on downs.
I'll tell you, man, analytics in college football now are changing the way coaches think about down and distances. And listen, I know there are probably some metrics out there that say you should go for it in that situation because the percentages are telling you you got a good shot at keeping the football and keeping possession. That time, though, they're not able to come up with it. And they've now given up the football with their backs to the wall. The defense now is going to have to dig them out of this hole.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And it's nice to be a QB in this spot. He's had a great day, man. Like, great day. They've built a huge lead. Now, incompletion's okay. Just take care of the football. Don't throw that thing to the other team.
To the air on 2nd down. The quick out. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall.
You can tell this quarterback did his homework coming into this game. He has been dissecting this defense with his arm and his mind. Over 300 yards passing now.
The screen, he's got wheels. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1. And the Canes will hustle to the line. Power ahead. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Timeout called here by the defense. It's their first of the half. I mean, they got nothing on the last snap. Let's see if they try to throw it in on 3rd and goal from the 1. Trying to pound their way in. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. That one pushes this lead out a little bit more here in the 4th, and now they can smell 8 straight wins.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. Putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Back to pass. It's Poe. Caught. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
You got to like this defense, man. All game long, great job tackling the football. Like, you throw it on the perimeter, they're coming up. They're not giving the run after the catch to these receivers. A lot of times you see so much damage done after the catch. This defense has been dialed in, and the big play has been a non-issue.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
And the Tigers come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep the drive moving. He's looking to throw on 3rd and short. Finds his back in the middle. Nice job to pick up the first down, and they'll spot it at the 42. Last completion moves the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Here's the handoff. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
You got to give this defense credit because they have bottled this guy up all game long. He's one of the best running backs in all of college football. Everybody was expecting him to have a big one today. Don't tell that to this defense, though. They've played with great effort. They've gotten hats to the football, and they have been able to shut him down.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Throws to the wideout. Working the middle. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening. That will take us to the 2-minute timeout, and not much time left for this offense to put together a miracle. Clemson ready to go back to work with another first down. Wants to throw on 1st down. It's complete to the left.
And it's all about coachable moments, and obviously they have not had a ton of success throwing the ball in this game, but as a coach, I think you're just looking for positives, like that play right there, even late in the game, taking your steps, making the right read, an accurate throw, positive plays that you can build upon offensively for the...
I'm sorry you're unlikely to win today, but here's a fabulous parting gift, a late touchdown.
Well, it's good to finally see this offense have a little bit of success because that has not been the case in this game. Nothing has gone their way. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. You know, guys, coaches are always trying to find things to build on, and this is at least something late in this game, scoring that touchdown that hopefully helps build their confidence the next time they take the field.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. from inside the 10. Here he comes. He had visions of glory on that return, but he'll step out of bounds at the 29. But see what they have dialed up as this drive starts from the 29-yard line. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Trying play action. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on fourth down. Looking left. And make the catch, and the defense will force the turnover on downs.
This is so a Jesse Palmer move. Exactly what he would do. Continue to put the foot on the accelerator, try to rub it in. Can't win by enough. Got to look good in the polls. This is your kind of offense, Palmer.
Fires to the wideout. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
Back to pass. It's Poe. Got his man. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. Down to the 18-yard line, it's 1st and 10. To the air on first down. Unloads to the wideout. Through his hands and incomplete. He normally makes that catch every time. It's second down.
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the pressure of this defense, and that's why they find themselves down by so much here in the fourth.
And this game is obviously out of hand. But I think the fans would argue, too, at this point, like, all right, well, let's not throw checkdowns, right? Let's throw some deep balls and continue to open up this offense and keep fighting. I think that's what you want to see. You want to see your squad not quit. Keep fighting until the very end of the football game.
At this point of the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
So the offense is going to go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. They spun.